back to the Cozy Crib. Thank you for clicking on again. My name is Kenan Dias, and you're here with
Joshua Harrington. Once again, as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thank you for clicking back on. I hope everyone out there had a great Christmas, great New Year's, spent some time with family, relaxed, and enjoyed the New Year's, So we had a great start to 2023. A great end to 2023.
Absolutely.
Right?
And a great start to 2024.
We could cheers on that. And
to a successful start into new beginnings.
That's it.
And we'd want to wish you all a happy new year as well. And like Kenan said, really hope that everybody had a great time with their families this Christmas. And thank you, in the midst of all the chaos and the craziness of the holidays, all the stress, that you all still found time to click on our videos and really made this this season of giving even better. And you giving us your time and your energy and putting that into our videos, it means the world to us. It sure made my Christmas, man, I'll tell you.
No, yeah. Hey, to take time away and watch our videos, and also feedback.
Yeah.
The feedback is everything to us. It means you're engaging with our videos. You have an opinion on it. You have something that you want to say. Come to us with your critiques. Come to us that stuff that you don't like, you love. We just appreciate it all.
Especially the criticisms, because as much as we love the compliments, and we've really gotten some great compliments from a lot of great people, we don't really grow from compliments, right? We want you to hit us with your nastiest insults, your nastiest critiques. Please help us to get better, because it's really from the constructive criticism that we can grow as a brand. We can grow in what we're trying to do and deliver to you. So would you like to maybe talk about some of the critiques that some people had? Yeah. I think it's to address going into the new year.
We did notice that a lot of people liked our first episode, part 1 and part 2, but we also noticed that it was too vulgar and we came across kind of hard to watch topics, kind of hard to listen to some things that we said. So we understand, we took accountability for that. We understand, we've seen it. And we're going to start pointing it to a better direction. And now what me and Josh did, we have playlists for you to watch. So do you want to tap into the playlist? You want to talk about the playlist? Yeah.
And really quickly before we get into that. So yeah, something both of our families kind of came to us and a bunch of other people, and they're like, this is could be really jeopardizing for your reputations. It's some of the things that are said on the podcast are a little bit gross. So something that I just wanted to address is that, what did you expect when we said unfiltered, gritty conversation? This is part of what that is. And so, but we do understand we want to do a lot of things that are for a lot of other audiences on our podcast. Like, we want to introduce an educational segment, like what they didn't teach you in school. So, right, if people are getting onto our channel and they don't know what's what, we don't want like a kid clicking on A Culture of Addiction parts 1 and 2 by accident.
True, yeah.
Right? It's not for children. So
it's a bad look on us as well.
Yeah.
I just wanted to intervene real quick and say, the guests that we bring on, we see something in them. And like you were saying, we have a lot of variety. So something that you watch in episode 1, you might not like in episode 2. Something that you see in episode 3, you'll love in episode 1. So our reputation, I don't want this to be ruined just because who we pick as guest. They're guests, and they say how they feel. They're their own person. And me and Josh are our own person, and we're the hosts of this podcast. So if you have something that you disagree with the guest, you don't have to tie us into what our guest is saying. Yes, it's on our podcast, and we understand that 100%, but we're at the end of the day, our own person, each an individual.
Exactly. And, each person is entitled to their own opinions. And the thing is we don't feel like we should disenfranchise people for having opinions that are a little rough around the edges. I think that that's very much appreciated, and we think that all the people we have on, we have because they represent, a certain subgroup of people our age through their shared experiences. So we did put some things in place, though, to make sure that when you go onto our channel, you're only finding the exact type of content that you're looking for, and we're also putting proper warnings into place to make sure that you don't stumble across something that might be unappealing to you. So, for example, our channel has always been 18 and plus. We knew right away that that was going to be necessary. So something that we did introduce, and once a little round of applause to Kendon for editing that up, is a little advisory.
Hey, we edited it together. You know what I mean? We're a team over here. But.
Absolutely. But mostly it was Kendon, but we appreciate it. So a little advisory warning at the start of our videos, just to let you know, like, hey, right, like what our guests say is not necessarily reflective of us. We're just giving people a platform to speak and share their ideas. That's what we're here to do. And so something else we did, so about the playlists, something I'm very excited about because I'm a neat freak for organization, is we now have two separate playlists, on our channel. One called Keeping It Cozy. That's for all audiences of all ages. Our next episode is going to be in Keeping It Cozy because it's very tame, very informative, but it's very exciting stuff that we're all passionate about, I would imagine. And then we have one called Keeping It Controversial. So those are the videos that are not quite for the faint of heart, not for the easily triggered, and most certainly not for children. So yeah, we definitely think it's important to put those things into place. So at this point, if you go onto our channel and stumble across something that does not appeal to you, you only have yourself to blame, so, but yeah, we have a lot of other things that we're very excited about, but it's something I'd like to touch upon as well as, first of all, thank you all. We got 500 views on A Culture of Addiction Part 1. That is huge. And you see all these, and almost over 400 something on the intro. And you see a lot of these big podcasters who have like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, and you're like, oh, what's 500? But I mean, imagine this room filled with 500
people,
individuals, right? That is significant. That is our message of what is love and unity and greater awareness being spread to that many people. And it's really humbling. So thank you all for that. We have a lot of things that we're very excited about. Did you want to talk about the Spotify we're looking to introduce?
I do. I just wanted to add on to what you said. We do appreciate the 500 views, and even though it's not thousands and thousands, we did touch 1.2, 1.3 for our whole group on YouTube. And we also have our Instagram. We can put that up here. And we have our TikTok right here. We just appreciate you guys. And we'll put the YouTube on the bottom right if you're watching this on any of the social media for if it's a clip or anything. But we thank you guys so much just for clicking on. And even if you watch it again just to show a friend, we appreciate that very, very much. Just clicking on this video again right now, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you watching it, sharing it, and showing your love. And it means a lot to us. Also, from our intro, me and Josh said that you can listen to in the car ride, you can listen to at work, and we want to hold up our bargain with that because people came to us and they said that they were at the gym, they were on the car ride to work, like we were talking about, and they couldn't listen to the TheCozyCrib podcast.
Quite a few of my friends were like, hey, I'm at the gym. Obviously, if anyone who's tried to watch a YouTube video while doing anything, it is super fucking annoying. So, that's something that we've fixed now. So
we do. So the Spotify, let's put that in the top right there. Josh will edit that in. And go check it out. Now you can listen to it on the car ride, while you're working out, etc., etc. We'll have our 2 videos up right now, our part 1, our part 2.
Throw the intro in there as well.
We'll throw the intro in there as well. It should all be up right now. Go give a look at it. Go give a peek. And yeah.
Absolutely. So I think now it's important. So obviously this is the time to be making our resolutions. So we'd love to share with you our future vision for this podcast and our resolutions. And we'd like to maybe bridge that disconnect that I think we had perhaps with the culture of addiction. So part 1 obviously got 500 views.
Yep.
Part 2 barely grazed 200. So that's not on you guys. That's on us. And not only just views, but likes went down on both the Instagram and the YouTube. Comments went down. Really, there was no engagement, people, and we also got some critiques about that podcast. So yes, we feel as though maybe we had lost a little bit of what drew people in with the intro. And so we think going into the new year, we'd like to realign ourselves with the purpose that we had established in that video, the thing that resonated so well with a lot of you. So, we have a lot of big things on the horizon. We have an exciting episode coming up that's in the works right now. Should we give a little sneak peek, like tell them what it's about, give a little something?
Go ahead, bro.
So it's going to be called Government Fuckery, right? So we're going to be talking about everything from Trump to tyrants to totalitarianism. We're going to be talking about the feds, the police. We're going to be talking about civil liberties. Pretty much everything that you see on your Instagram news feed or your TikTok.
All at the Cozy Crib, though.
All at the Cozy Crib, though. All in, we're your one-stop shop for anything.
Pretty much anything.
Conspiratorial. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to that. So anybody who thinks they're getting fucked over by their government, you're going to love that episode. Yeah, we have that coming, and that's going to be great. That's with a good buddy of ours. He's a really solid kid, good head on his shoulders. So we have a bunch of really exciting things coming. So do we have it? So let me ask you this, Kendon. What are your goals going forward with this podcast? Like, what's something that you want to see us do a bit better in the new year?
So the intro, we pushed that we want to give love, we want to give information, we want to give an entertaining podcast. And as we feel like we did in episode 1, part 1, part 2, we obviously, with the feedback we got, we didn't. So we just want to no hate to Keith. We love Keith. He did an amazing job.
Yeah, that's something I want to say as well, is this isn't us bashing our buddy. I'd love to actually give a nice little, can we give a round of applause? Thank you. So Keith was first person to volunteer to be on our podcast, and he was our first choice. And I mean, man, he had the courage to come on and say some wild shit. But guess what? And something I think I don't want anyone to lose sight of, we really tackled a lot of important issues on that podcast. We talked about the fact that kids with mental health conditions, right, get diagnosed with them, just get forcefully drugged with pharmaceuticals that destroy their body and their health at a young age. Talked about all sorts of good stuff related to health. We talked about how people, instead of idolizing their dads, they idolize guys like influencers like Andrew Tate, which is incredibly important. And we established how toxic that was. We really tackled the detriments of life in the digital age. And I think that was great and made people maybe more aware of certain addictions. So I think that we really tackled a lot of great things. It came in, it was a little rough around the edges the way we delivered it, but I'd really just, I'm very grateful for Keith. I know Kendon is as well, for his contributions and for helping us to kickstart this journey. So, but obviously, part 2 didn't resonate quite as well with people, and that's something we also have to acknowledge.
Yeah. So with that, we appreciate Keith coming on.
Yeah.
As humorous or non-humorous it was to our audience, everyone's different. We did tackle a lot of important things, and as you can see it as a little vulgar or hilarious or however you see it.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. We did take it very serious, though, and we did take the topic serious, and we brought up what we needed to and what we thought we needed to. You either take 2 routes in high school, I feel like. You take it the serious route and get respect, or you get power from another way, and it's being like a class clown and having other people like you from your hilarious characteristics. Now, there's 2 places. Are you respected because of your dedication towards school, because you could be intelligent but not really do the schoolwork? Or do you have a good group of following and you say, yo, let's go here, and you're so popular and known and hilarious, people go because they know everyone else is going and everyone's a follower at this certain time, except for the some. You feel me?
Now, I do feel you. I feel like there's a lot of respect that gets, correlated just to following the path that society is pushing you down. So it's like, oh, so-and-so did great in school, and now they're going to Brown. Wow, let's
what a shot. There's only one kid that went to Brown in our school.
Well, no.
What a shot.
So, no, whatever. whatever.
This ain't gonna be
Yeah,
broadcast. How
but-
many times we say that and it's always broadcast?
It is, but it's you know that person might be like, oh, you envy that person because or you give them
What's the word envy
respect.
mean?
What?
What's the word envy mean?
So I would
Jealousy.
say it's a mix of jealousy and admiration. Do you know what I mean? So
That's a 7 deadly sin, though.
jealousy.
Yes, it is.
Jealousy.
Envy.
I don't think envy is. I
Seven
don't.
deadly sins.
So I know it is. I remember now. I'd say jealousy is a much worse because I was writing. I don't know if you know, but I was writing a book about emotions, and I looked into these things. Jealousy is like hate, right? Like jealousy is someone has something you don't have, and you hate them for
What's
it.
that word for hate? Not hate, but like repulsive. Not repulsive. What's that word?
Spite. I don't
No.
know. Hate, disdain.
Starts with an R.
Revulsion. It's not No, it's not. Revulsion's like you're
Is that it?
grossed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like someone has something that you don't have and you hate them for it. That's jealousy. Whereas envy is someone has something and you're jealous of them, but you admire them for it and you want to be like them. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like if you're envious of someone, you want to emulate them. If you're jealous of them, you want to take everything that they have from them and destroy them. Those are the differences. But, you know, they envy people who, oh, you get to this Ivy League school, you're going to have a nice paying job afterwards. Like, congratulations. I think that is the most cowardly path that you can take in life. It's really, you're not going to take a chance on yourself at all. You're just going to do exactly what your teacher said. They said, oh, you're going to funnel you straight off to college to insurmountable amounts of debt. You're not going to take the chance on yourself to step outside of what your parents demand of you, what society demands of you, what every respectable figure in your life demands of you. That's what it takes to be an entrepreneur, right? To be an entrepreneur, and I've experienced this firsthand, dude. You're going against what your parents want for you. You're going against what your teachers always told you to do, what your school told you to do, what society has told you to do, and what everyone else around you is doing. And guess what? Do you think they're going to love you for it? No, they're going to hate you. They're going to hate you because they're jealous of you because you have the courage to do what they wanted to do, but they didn't, right? So that's why I don't think we should necessarily give respect to the people who just went down those paths. But that's what people get respect for after high school. That's what people envy them. Like, oh, they got into that great school. It's like, okay, so, I mean, do they have social intelligence? I mean, do they have the actual skills to go out and be independent? Or are they just going to live in the system their whole life?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
And then about what you said about, you know, the people that are like follow, right? Yeah.
Popular or whatever.
I mean, what are you going to do as a career? Become a cult leader, right? Like that's only going to get you so far, really.
Dude, it's actually crazy how... Okay, wait. How do you want to wrap this up? Because we're having like an own mini podcast right now.
Keep going. And then I'll just tell you. And then when we're done talking, I know how we can wrap it up, but I like this conversation.
Well, now that,
Talking to your mic too.
now that I'm... Why? You want to keep this? Yeah, I knew you do. I know you do. Now that I'm older, you realize that, like, being popular, right? So when you're young, you just want everyone to know you. You want to be cool with everyone. You want people to like you is, like, the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. And, like, even though I can't remember I want people to like me, I know subconsciously I wanted people to like me. Because you see it around. Yeah. So I can't say I didn't want that because subconsciously I knew it was there. Yeah. So it's like when you see other people, right, do certain things, oh my God, I want to be like that, right? And you kind of become in a following state. When you break out of that following state, you're like, wow, how stupid are you? You're a fool. Mm-hmm. Like, how do I explain this, bro? To be looked as a class clown, you will never have respect in your life. If your career is to be a comedian, okay, like you can get laughs, okay, but
you're a court jester or something.
Court jester, like, bro, you're everyone wants respect. Let's be real. So when you're making a fool of yourself, right? And I can't even talk because like sometimes I would like do stupid stuff, right?
I remember.
What do you mean you remember?
I remember you were a little bit of a goof back in the day.
Okay, so like where's the respect? See how I have no respect?
Exactly.
But then you work on yourself, you isolate yourself, which I know you did for a time, because when you came back, you were very well respected even by me. So things like that create respect, isolation, working on yourself, taking a different path, like you said, that people aren't doing. If you take that college route and you work towards something, good for you, and you can actually take that and become free, financially free. I'm not shitting on kids who go to college.
Yeah.
I'm not. No. I'm not.
No offense taken.
And I could take the other route and not go to college and fail.
Absolutely.
And then look at you and be like, damn, I wish I went to college.
Yeah.
So it's depends the person, depends the power of will, depends how dedicated they are, depends on the risk they take, depends on the circumstances, depends on the resources.
Back to what you were saying about being the most popular and whatnot and all that. I mean, and getting everyone to like you and basing all of your choices on that, like most people do in high school.
Ranting, by the way.
No, I don't care.
On a little rant.
I don't care.
Even this might get
So it's already bad enough when you graduate high school and you have no real world skills, right? So imagine if you graduate high school and you spent those 4 years, instead of developing your sense of self, you were just being a people pleaser. You were just getting people to like you, and that's natural, right? That's what you want to do as a social creature. But imagine you graduate from high school and you're not even an individual. You don't even know who you are, right? High school is the perfect, right? Each year of high school, I look back and I really developed so significantly my sense of who I am, my identity, what I want, not what other people want me to be, right? Not what other people are expecting out of me. So I think it's important. The best way to crush any semblance of individuality within yourself is to try to get other people to like you, is to try to make everybody like you, try to please everybody. And something that I've realized is that you will never get respect that way. If you, and I don't know if you've noticed this, when you choose a different path than everybody else, when you walk alone, when you trailblaze, right? People will hate you at first. I promise you. When you have nothing to show for it, but they see that you're working towards it, they will hate you, they will mock you, they will judge you, and they will shame you.
So true, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yep, I've been through
But then but if you can make it through that and you can keep your head down and you can grit your fucking teeth and you can get up every morning and say, I don't give a fuck about what they say about me, right? Then you have something to show for it at some point. They will love you. They will cheer you on. They will envy you.
Or respect you.
Exactly. You will get the utmost respect, right? If you can say, hey, I did something different and I succeeded, that's how the greats are made. That's how you get your name remembered, right? Nobody got their name remembered by going through the simple paths in life, by allowing themselves to be funneled through the path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying? So
I like how you said envy too, because then people think, oh, everyone's going to love me. But then you have more the majority envying you, but to your face, they say, oh, good job. But they envy you just on the simple fact that wasn't them. Because everyone's self-centered and selfish.
And something that I think a lot of people are not prepared for when they decide, because something you said that I really liked was freedom, right? Was how going on a different path and forging your own path gives you freedom. It's scary to take that free fall, let me tell you something. But I promise you, going to college, being in debt your entire life, never leaving the system, you will never be free. You will always owe somebody something. To become an entrepreneur, to work with something that you love, not only is that fulfillment, but entrepreneurship is the key to freedom, right? Not just, right? Even if your business ventures fail, well, I can just start another one because I have the entrepreneurial mindset, I have the entrepreneurial spirit, and I have the entrepreneurial skill set, right? If you can talk to people, if you can sell yourself, you can sell a product, you can do fucking anything. You don't need an employer, right? You are the employer. But there are some things that I don't think a lot of people realize is don't expect your family to support you. Don't expect your best buds to support you.
Nope.
Because they won't. Right? They will shit on you. They will make jokes at your expense. And at the end of the day, you just have to be committed to the dream. And like you said, you can't have that short-term gratification. You got to get that out of your head right away. You got to have a long-term goal that gets you up in the morning. Yeah, you got to have a long-term goal that makes you think it's fucking worth it, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'll trudge through the hate. I'll trudge through the criticism. I'm going to fucking make it. And I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks.
I agree with you, Josh, because in high school, right, even middle school, I would say projects that I'm working on, right? Let's just say music, or we're going to do a podcast. And we did feel that type of hate. You know what I mean?
We had nothing to show for it at the time.
Show for, hey, when's that next episode coming out? laugh, laugh, laugh. And then the same people would come back and compliment us, which it feels good. But now we're facing the same criticism, and we're taking it into an account, and we have some resolutions for this year. So is there one resolution that you would like to bring up out of the few?
Yeah. And so just to touch upon what you said before real quick is, I mean, when Kendon and I first brought up the idea of a podcast in sophomore year of high school, do you think we got a lot of support for that idea? Absolutely the fuck not. People were chirping us all day long, right? But we kept our heads down and we eventually made it happen. And now the same people who hated on us, we're still our buddies, right? But now they're giving us compliments, they're praising us, and it's humbling. This isn't like a flex thing. It's like it does come full circle, right? I promise you that it is worth it.
It could be a testimony to the people that want to take that foot in that direction that are afraid to.
Yeah.
You know, just always, you can't have a goal without little baby steps and plans and goals ahead of that goal to reach it.
And you can't have a goal without being willing to suffer for it, right? So, but I promise you the suffering does pay off. But yeah, so once again, we find ourselves with our backs against the wall where we've kind of missed the mark a bit. We want to regroup our support base. We want to get people excited to watch our content again. So something I'd really like to do more is, I feel like, we might have been a little bit polarizing in the first episode. I think it may be a little bit divisive. Right. And I think the one thing that I'd like to get out of this podcast, and I'd like others to get out of it, is a little more unity. Right. I mean, we're all one and the same. Right. We all have shared experiences. And the world's divisive enough as it is. We don't want to contribute to that. We don't want to be that. And that's something I really had a problem with watching it, is just, and it's ironic because we were talking about influencers and controversial influencers. And then I'm thinking, man, if we were to go viral today, we would have the same effect, right? I don't want to be divisive. I don't want to be polarizing. I don't want to pull people apart. I want to bring them together. So something that I'd like to work on more, at least when I speak, because I can't control what our guest says, I can't control what Kenan says, but something for my 1/3 of this contribution, in these discussions, I want to bring people together. I want to play devil's advocate to everybody, and I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And I want to be more balanced in what I bring to the table in terms of our conversations. I want to be more unifying. I want this to be a place of unity, not a place of division. So that's you can consider that my resolution for the podcast. What about you, Kenan?
My New Year's resolution for 2024 would have to come in contact with more people with this podcast, reach out more. As much as we appreciate each person who already viewed our content already, there is much, much more people that we want to touch with our content. So we want to spread our message, spread love and unity, like he's saying, like I'm saying. We want this to be an entertaining podcast as well as an informative podcast. So with that, we want not to become famous, because fame is something that we don't want. Helping people.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but
but helping people, or even people someone having someone to come to. You know what I mean? They can always come to our socials. They can always come ask us questions, talk to us. I think us being a symbol for that is something that I'd like to touch up for 2024. I hope that we can touch more people.
Absolutely.
By 2024.
That's a great resolution. And actually, you just reminded me of something. So something else that we want to do that we're very excited about. So we love reading your comments. We love it when you engage in our videos. It makes us very happy. We try to respond to all of the messages that we get on our content. So something we're very excited to do, and I believe it was Kenan's idea. It was a very good idea.
It was a friend of mine.
Oh, was it a friend? Yeah, it was a friend of his. Yeah, had the idea to do a little live stream where we read people's comments live. We'd love to have people, give us, DM us, reach out to us with their comments, whether they're compliments or critiques. We'll do a mix of both, and we'll just shoot the shit for a while and just read people's comments. But we'd love for you guys to call in with those questions, so that you can get your voice on the podcast. You can say your name, whatever you want to do, and then we can answer your questions live. We'd love to put us on the spot a little bit, help us improve our podcasting skills, and we think that would be a really cool thing. And even in some of these, more impromptu, just me and Kendon shooting the shit together, we'd love to, start reading people's comments and reading people's messages. So please leave us more. Leave us as many as you can. Anything you have to say, there's no wrong answer. So that's something I'm very excited about. So in the spirit, though, of New Year's and us giving our New Year's resolutions, I think it's important to touch upon kind of how stupid New Year's resolutions actually are. Right? So I don't know if you have any strong opinions on New Year's resolutions?
The thing with it is, like, why now? When you had all year to start. It's like an excuse to be better. When you had all year to fix an addiction, a problem, as hard as addictions could be, or just fix an addiction, fix a problem, fix something by yourself, try something new. You had all year, and you use one day as an excuse to start when you're not consistent, rather than starting this second instead of saying, I'll start Monday, instead of now. Because if you start now, you're already growing onto that path. People say, I'm going to do it Monday, and then Monday comes around, and, I'm going to do it next Monday. They keep pushing it. When you start it now, when you start that New Year's resolution now, you're on a greater path. You're going to be more consistent. You're going to be more dedicated because you gave everything up to start now.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying because, we human beings are inherently creatures of procrastination. So it's much easier to put something off until this obscure date in the distant future as opposed to tackling it head on in the present moment. What really bothers me about New Year's resolutions in particular is that in order to have a New Year's resolution, that means that you had to have identified something in your life that you're unhappy with, right? You had to have identified something wrong with your life, something wrong with yourself, something wrong with the people of your life that is causing you misery right now, right? So by making a New Year's resolution, instead of, doing something about it as you identify it, you're allowing yourself, and you're really doing yourself a disservice. You're allowing yourself to wallow in misery, fully aware of what's bothering you, but just saying, I'll just kick it off to the new year. What, bro? What sense does that make, right? Fuck your New Year's resolution. What about today's resolution? What are you doing today to make yourself the best version of yourself? What are you doing today to cultivate the life that you want to live? What are you doing to bring people into that life that deserve to be in it, So don't wait until the New Year's to make those changes in your life, right? The only time that matters and the only time that exists is the present moment. All we have is the present moment. Fix yourself in the present moment. Fix yourself in the now. You want to lose weight? Go to the gym today, right? Why the fuck not? You want to be a better public speaker? Sign up for a public speaking class. Whatever it is that you're falling short of, whatever shortcomings you're facing within yourself, tackle that in the present moment, right? Fuck your New Year's resolution, right? But, in the spirit of New Year's, we'll still stick to our resolutions. Even though we started working on these things the second they came to our attention. It just happened to line up with the new year. But yeah, in the spirit of that, and in the spirit of the holidays, we don't want to end on a negative note, just ranting. So, like we said, thank you all again for really kicking off our new year on such a high note. We're so grateful for each and every one of you, and we hope to start giving you more content that more aligns with maybe what you would expect of us, and maybe more of what we would expect from ourselves. So on that note, thank you all. Have a fantastic rest of your night. We're absolutely grateful for each and every one of you. Big things in store, so stay tuned.